But if you want to be a designer, you need a strategy. You need to know the step by step, okay, of a process that you want to use, so that you can say that you can put first of all your personal input in visualizing this project that will be different from another colleague or another student in your class. At the same time, it will give you a better clear idea how you can make that project so that you don't forget most important points to answer, so that when you present your project, the teacher or the design manager or design director, they will look at it and say, well, the project is cohesive, it's coherent. Now, the only thing they can say is, I don't like or I like. They cannot say, you forgot this, you forgot that. You understand? That's a strategy. What type of approach we have to use when we start a project. And then, of course, there is a creativity, which is very important, because that's your personal input, your inner, your inner talent that comes out and makes the interpretation. But it is an interpretation of a strategy, okay? A method. Let's talk about design, project, strategy. This is the lesson of today, okay? So the thing is that when we start a project, okay, you get a briefing. And the briefing, there is something, it's written something. So your manager, your teacher at school, or your manager at work, we say, okay guys, we have to make this new project. This is the team, we are 3, 4, 5 people. I will explain to you. The briefing is this client, I don't know, it will come out, let's suppose in 2035. So, project is for 2035, okay? So we have a time. That's the time when the project has to be in production. This means that we start a project at least 4 years before. So we have to start this project in 2031, all right? And before 31, we will probably, if I make a 2035, 2031, when we start, and here in 2030, we do a little bit of R&D, research, okay? So this part, some people will just, maybe a small team, they will just sketch. There is a manager, maybe it's not gonna be the final manager, it's not gonna be the guy or the girl that will bring the project till the end. It's the person that within the design team will start managing a very light beginning of this project, reflections, what do you think it's gonna be this project from in 2035, I don't know, the future, family car, full electric or hydrogen or new technology, because in 2035 electric will probably already be over and we are already moving to a new energy system. So when we start these things, and after we start the real project, we have some questions. So first of all, 2035, the first question is, how is going to be? I mean, what type of, what type of society, people, young generation, what type of people we're gonna have in 2035? That's the first question. And so, what type of life? That's the first question. So we have to answer to this question. Then we have another question that is very important, and this is a little bit wider, okay? It's gonna be, what about world economics and politics? When I mean politics, I mean also if there is a war. For example, nowadays we are sadly, I say it very sadly, looking at this insane war between Ukraine, Russia, in other parts of the world also. It's not just there. If you go African countries or in other Asian countries, there are little conflicts and stuff. I mean, how much those scenarios affect the market, the people. Because in general, when there is a war and people feel, how can I say, scared, like when we had the COVID, same thing. It's generating scare. People are afraid. So what happens? During the COVID, a lot of people saved money. They did not spend. The only people that got a lot of money, that earned a lot of money, were the online stores, like Amazon, the big distributors, Alibaba, all those people. Why? Because I am at home. I need something. I cannot go to the store because it's too, I had to put the mask, I had to put the thing. I don't want to go through all that. And then they will look at my documents and stuff. So I stay home. I go on internet and I find what I need. A new way of living the life. Also in Italy. Italy is a country, for example, very traditional. I mean, if you tell, if 3 years ago you would say to somebody in Italy, to my friends, I bought this on internet, I bought the food on internet, I bought the wine on internet, I got this nice sweater, I bought it on internet. They delivered it to my house. They would look at me and say, "Oh, come on, can't you go to a store? You find better quality. You can use it. You can try it on. You can see yourself. You can listen to the people. You have a contact with people." So I live here alone, and many times I use internet to buy my stuff. But my friends, for example, they always thought that I was a little bit strange. I was relying on internet too much to buy stuff. Now, after COVID, they do the same thing. So, do you understand the transformation of habits? So this is important because this is affecting our lifestyle. The lifestyle changes. What's happening in economy? What's happening in politics? In the balance that we have all over the world between countries. Okay, so then there is another question. Technology. When we talk about a future project, it's too easy, it's too easy to say, okay, I already know what the technology. We have electric, hydrogen, the car can fly today. And I don't know, diesel cars are dead, petroleum is dead. Okay, but this is today. So when we ask designers to project themselves in 10 years from now, or even more, the question comes again, which technology? Now, of course, you cannot say, I'm going to use this technology that does not exist yet. But you can make a research around to understand what type of technologies are under development in R&D where companies are investing a lot of money. For example, we always said that when we buy an electrical car, there is a battery. A lot of people, they're right, saying, yeah, be careful with the battery because inside there are stuff like lithium and other materials, premier, that are not very nice and safe for the planet to go and search. So we cannot use too much of that. We have to find a different solution for electric cars. Well, today they are experimenting new type of batteries that do not have those materials. The battery will be smaller, lighter, and this means that our design will be much better and sleeker, because today the battery is so heavy, so big. We already have some informations today that in a way let us understand a little bit what can happen tomorrow. And that's what you have to do. So you have to make research. I know that you are not an engineer, that you are not working in the industry yet. Me, I'm not an engineer, but what do we do in general? We go and search for info. In China, for example, there are several companies that are working how to produce electricity for cars alternative to batteries. Because the Chinese understood that they cannot make batteries for all the world because it's not sustainable. You reach the most important part to start your project. There you can start, and is your storytelling. Because if you don't have a storytelling, you don't have a project. This is something very important you have to understand. To start your project, you need a storytelling, and in the storytelling, those are the ingredients to which you have to give an answer. So once you have that answer, then you can start sketching. Because you start having an idea. And you can say, okay, people will not have the telephone today. They will have a different technology, but of course the fast information available to everybody. Maybe it will be even for free. It will be done in a different way. Maybe on the glass of cars, not anymore on your device, in your hands. Maybe when you get into a bus or when you get into a plane, there will be a sort of information that are public that if we want to see, it's enough to go and check the window of our car. It's gonna be like a display, like a TV, and we can turn it on and off. Then we will have another type of device. Today we already have some foldable displays, that you can bend, that will be replacing telephones. So imagine how you can use that on top of your body. Maybe I can wear it just like I wear my watch. Something that I do like that I can see everything. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm saying stupid things, but this is just an example to let you understand how you have to start using your creativity. It comes from those answers. And then another thing, you are younger than me. When I see my son or their friends, they are 19 years old, 18 years old. They think completely different from me. Besides, you see me, I'm not somebody that, I have my 60 years old, but I'm not somebody like a grandfather, not yet, But still, there is a big difference in the life approach. So how this is important to understand what they will like. And what they will like, that's a big question. So then we hope that after the war that we have today, in a couple of years or less, we hope less, we will not have any more war. This means that the economy will go up because there is a reconstruction. A lot of companies will survive, will live again. So there will be a lot of money turning in a part of the world. And everything is connected to that because of global economy. So if in Ukraine, for example, we have to reconstruct towns, buildings, roads, bridges, railroads and stuff, well, I'm sure that there will be a lot of companies of several nationalities that will work on that. This will move economy. So this is another aspect to think of. Just like COVID. When we had the COVID, everything stopped. After COVID, everything moved again and the economy went up. At that time, we were down 30%, 45%. It was a disaster for those that had investments. But today, it's okay, no big deal. Because the economy went up, everything recuperated, people start spending, people get gadgets, people buy again cars. And then the technology. Technology will be very important. A lot of people buy products because they have a better technology. And today, and I think tomorrow even more, everything is bio, green, respectful of the world and stuff. It's gonna be hot things to have. Everybody wants to show, I did my good action in buying this and not that. So this is a little bit leitmotif in terms of mentality, approach, cultural approach tomorrow. So once you have all this, you give yourself answers, then you can start saying your storytelling. So let's imagine that the project is about a minibus for the town, okay? Well, once you have this, you can sketch. And you can start thinking, how do I put the people together? How many people are put in this device? Is it big? Is it shorter like this one? What type of architecture I do inside? Do I make an area where people are really comfortable? Or I don't care, I put everybody standing up, because it's 5 minutes going from A to B. It's very quick, short runs and stuff like that. But you have to decide. But this one is because we always gonna have old people. They need to be sitting. Or women that are pregnant, they need to be seated. Or little kids that cannot stand, especially when it's too hot or whatever. They need to be sitting. So there are some habits that will not change according to the age or the physical problem. So we designers have to think about all this. When you are able to do all that, then you can go and you start sketching. And this is just quick sketching, 5 minutes, just to reason. You can use this type of sketch to talk to your colleagues in your team, so that you talk and say, what do you think? What are you gonna do? And then exchanging, you will have the opportunity to shoot for 1-2 directions, and you can make the A solution and the B solution, because you always want an alternative, okay? And then you develop. Of course, all this you have to explain to your director. You have to explain to your teacher. If you are working a team, you have to work this within your team. If it's a student team, you have to do it. Because your vision does not mean that it's 100% correct. Maybe a colleague has a slightly different point of view, and maybe it's better. And now the interesting thing when we work in team is that we put together things. The forces of everybody united, okay, to make a strong project, a strong approach. So you develop 2 solutions. And of course, when you develop 2 solutions, they have to be different. Okay, so I think that I explained to you the design strategy to adopt. Of course, this is one of the design strategies, okay? It's not the only one. So, first of all, I think that it was very interesting to explain to you this, because a lot of people start sketching. When you have a project, you just start sketching. And many times to my students, I say, but before you sketch, do you know what you're gonna do? Or who you're gonna do it? Why you're gonna do it that way? What is your storytelling? They don't know how to answer. They don't know. But that's when I start talking to them about this, what we just did together today. Thank you very much. Ciao. Grazie.